Hey everyone, Ritam this side, and in today's video, we are going to talk about how the dry months you are having in your business, or the dry months that you are kind of predicting is going to happen to your business later down the line, or that you had previously. Any kind of dry months that you have experienced in your business was actually predictable. You could have prevented it and you could have solved it months before it was coming. So there's a chance that if some dry months is gonna come after 3 or 4 months, probably you can stop it right now. And that is what we are gonna talk about in today's video. Now, before jumping in the topic, if you don't know who I am, my name is Ritam Samanta, and I have helped 20 plus aspiring agency owners get their first client and start their agency. Along with which I have a mission. The mission is to revolutionize the entire client acquisition system of agency owners, business coaches, consultants in India. And let's just jump straight into the topic, shall we? Now, before jumping, I have another thing to you know talk about, which is why it's important. Why it's important to understand this entire topic, or this entire pipeline, or whatever you may call it, system, right? Well, it's pretty self-explanatory, isn't it? If you don't understand why it's predictable, why this dry months keep happening to you, this feast and famine cycle you have in your business, why it keeps recurring, um, then you won't truly understand why you keep failing, right? In a way, you are failing every time you are having these dry, and it just keeps your anxiety technically at check, right? You just have anxiety all over there, and it spikes and drops, and simply put, feast and famine. And that's what we need to get out of. That's what we are targeting to do. And to do that, we need to start out with our first point, which I have noted it down here. First is, a pipeline is not a list of leads. It's not. A pipeline is, how I truly imagine a pipeline is actually a pipe, like a pipeline. That's what I truly imagine, I'd say. Um, Ever have you seen a pipe through which water flows, right? The pipeline, or the pipe itself, uh, what I'd imagine, has 4 or 5 different sections, right? Water flows from left to right, and the sections have kind of a barricade, right? Or whatever you may want to call it. And each section would represent, in a pipeline, represents each section of your business's pipeline. So outreach, paid ads, whatever. So you're technically getting the leads, getting them interested, then getting them to, I would say, from getting them interested to getting them on an appointment, then closing them, right? And each of them has a barricade. So, and barricades are either semi-permeable or not permeable at all, and that's on the basis of that how much water is flowing, right? So let's say there's this barricade which is completely flowable, like water can easily seep through. Our target should be having those kind of barricades so that the water can easily seep through. Now, usually in business sense, these barricades are nothing but the fundamental forces or the environmental factors of the market itself. So we can't really um, predict it, or not predict it, I'd say. We can't really, change it. But what we can change is our approach. So we can change how to position the barricade effectively so that most of the water flows through, and that is through using outreach script, that is through using scripts, proper scripts. And that is what we are going to do eventually. And that is the entire pipeline. It's not just how many leads you are getting and how many clients you're getting. It's this entire process. That's the entire pipeline. Now, what most agency owners do and don't realize is, suppose in January you sent 100 emails, 100 cold emails. You got 6 booked appointments, out of which you got 1 to 2 clients. You are really happy, and it entirely took 1 month, right? It's like over a period of 1 month you got 1 to 2 clients out of 100 emails. We can associate, or most of the agency owners can associate this second order consequence, and they can understand that I got 1 to 2 clients because I did 100 like 100 cold emails, right? But what they don't realize is after they get 1 to 2 clients, they stop doing cold emailing, or they don't do at that much volume or that much consistency. And after 3 or 4 months, they have that effect taken into the place. So if they did it in Jan, then let's say in June or in July, they have this dry month where they're not getting any clients. It's just the second order consequence of not doing any cold emailing at all after you got 1 to 2 clients. But how would you understand it? How would you even realize that actually not doing cold emails or not sending cold emails is causing you not getting clients? How would you realize that? Of course, because there's this entire 4 or 5 months gap, and that is what we are going to talk. That is the eventually solution which I'm going to talk about. But before that, there are 2 or 3 more points I'm going to discuss about. Out of them, one of them is, again, dry months are not a bad luck, or they aren't just happening because environmental or market conditions are there. They are almost entirely mathematically predictable, and you can actually predict it. And honestly, you already caused dry month. As I said, after getting 1 to 2 clients, you stop doing cold calls or cold emails, or you slow it down, maybe because you want to focus more on clients. Maybe not your fault completely, but you need to realize this is what is happening, right? The solution is simple. It's truly simple. You need to track. You need to track every single thing that's happening in your business, and what you should do to fix it in a way. Let me explain here. So let's say you sent 100 cold emails. You need to assign the new clients, whatever you are getting, to exact cold email or exact thing which caused it, right? So cause and effect should be, first of all, completely measured. That's the first step. So you sent this cold email and this happened. But the second step which you need to do is what you did after getting a client. That is what you need to track. It's a little bit hard, but let me allow to explain. What I'd suggest is having an Excel sheet, all right, where you track out every single thing you did today, or like today, and what caused you to do it. Not what you did, but what caused you. Related to business only. Don't make it all personal or stuff. But let's say you did 30 cold calls. Why did you did 30 cold calls? Why not more? Why not less? Do you think it is maybe because you got 1 or 2 new clients yesterday? Maybe because you are happy? Maybe because you're busy? Track it down. After you have a certain amount of data in this categorical order, you would slowly realize why and why not you are actually having a dry month or a feast month, feast and famine month. You will truly realize that after maybe 4 or 5 months, or even 1 year of tracking. 1 year of tracking this honestly would truly save you from any other dry months. And that is the entire solution. Speaking of tracking, I would suggest you to watch this video out there. I have talked about how to track and what to do and what not, how effort isn't equal to progress, and that's the entire theme of the video. So you might check it out, it might help you out. That said, the last point of today's video would surely be outreach. Most of the time, the reason why you are getting a dry month is because there was a certain point of time, like certain period of your year or whatever, when you didn't do cold calls, or you didn't do that much of sales calls or whatever you had, which has led you to this dry month after 4 or 5 months or after 6 months. You need to track it down. Again, tracking is important. You can't, as a business owner, as an agency owner, it is your truly due responsibility to never stop outreaching in any way, shape, or form. Whether it's inbound outreach, whether it's outbound outreach, whatever it is, I don't care. You need to have consistent, steady stream of leads. You can't possibly stop outreach. Now, the problem with most of the agency owners out there in India is that they don't have this steady stream of outreach or whatever, because they don't have any pipeline or any system at all for outreach. All they have is referral system. This is what I discuss about in this above video. You can check it out. Again, I'm just promoting, but yeah, what I'm just trying to tell you is you need to focus on entire system. You need to create this entire system of appointment, like of getting leads, then changing, like getting cold hard leads to a warm prospect, and then getting that warm prospect into booked appointments. This is where most of the agency owners are scared, and this is why most of the agency owners are stuck. I don't care if it's 10 lakhs, if it's 50 lakhs. The numbers sound amazing, but they are still stuck, and that's the honest truth. And that is what needs to change. Start outreaching, start tracking, and stop thinking in first order consequences. There's always second world order consequence, and that's what you need to focus on. Why dry month? Like the dry month, the one thing you should you know get in your mind, if you want to like have a like one entire summary of this entire video, it should be this: dry months are not caused of any first order consequence. That is, maybe I didn't do cold call today, or maybe I didn't do cold outreach today. That is not the reason why you're getting this dry month. The dry month was caused months ago when you stopped cold emailing properly or stopped doing cold outreach. And it just comes like it's like a earthquake that happens at the middle of ocean bed, right? You don't realize that earthquake happened. Maybe you had like a little jolt here and there. You might get the news of, there's this earthquake that happened in ocean bed, like ocean bed or whatever. You might not realize it, but after maybe few hours or few days, there would be a tsunami, there would be a flood. That is the only time you will realize that what effect that earthquake caused actually. And that is how important, or that is how I like to see this entire dry month period or phase, right? And yeah, that's about it. By the way, just a quick note: if you are an agency owner, coach, or consultant, and if you are having any trouble with getting clients, or having any appointment booking, or can't figure out how to book appointments, then there's a link in the description that you may want to check out. Full transparency, it's a funnel, and no, it doesn't have any 10 lakh rupees, 15,000 rupees course or whatever. It just has my video explaining how I might be able to help you with appointment booking, with client acquisition. Now, I really don't care if you click on the link or not, but that's just a heads up. If you are interested, you can click it. And yeah, thanks for watching today's video. I hope you like it, and make sure to like the video. There's a button for, if you like the video, of course there's a button for that. And if you want to see more of this content, you can surely subscribe to my channel. I wouldn't say to click the notification icon or whatever, you are of course busy. And yeah, comment any video ideas you have, anything. I would love to make a video about whatever you might want to see a video about. And yeah, that said, this is Ritam signing off. Have a great day ahead.